So let's say I go abroad today. So how is the community like, the campus community?
So Bangor offers a very strong community vibe because it all started from a community itself. And in terms of student community, we have a lot of diverse students coming from different communities, different backgrounds, but all coming and getting together with a sense of belongingness.
And what are the scores that are required specifically in IELTS and Duolingo maybe?
Talking about IELTS, minimum score is 6 overall and 5.5 in each component. For Duolingo, total score of 105.
And since you are mentioning the gap that is required, so let's say for bachelor's program, what is the ideal gap that is accepted by the university when it comes to bachelor's program precisely?
I think there should be somewhere about a 2-year gap. Although if they have a gap, they should have some work experience or some justification of that gap.
So what are the opportunities that University of Bangor has to offer specifically to students who have just completed their program?
So Bangor University does help the students provide a strong.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the first episode of our series Out of the Syllabus, hosted by Global Study Link, your most trusted study abroad partner. Today we have Karanveer Singh Saluja representing University of Bangor. So here to Karanveer to answer all your queries right from admission requirement, scholarship, accommodation, loan procedure and a lot more. So Karan, how are you?
I'm doing great, Saurabh. Thank you for the quick introduction. I just want to introduce myself. My name is Karanveer Singh Saluja, and I'm the country manager for Bangor University. Today we'll talk more about Bangor University's entry requirements, admission procedure, and scholarships, and a lot more to discover about Bangor.
That's great, Karan. And how have been this journey so far? You are representing Bangor for how long?
I've been representing Bangor for almost now 8 months. This is my 9 months and 9 month I've entered into. So it's pretty much a very fantastic journey overall. Very diverse. Learned a lot about leadership skills. Earlier, I was hired as a senior recruitment advisor, but in 6 months, thankful to all the Almighty that I've been raised as a profile for country manager. So I'm glad to know that the fact that I'm moving up the ladder.
That's great to hear, Karan. So if you can introduce, University of Bangor to all our students, and in fact, what makes it really unique?
So talking about Bangor University, it was established in 1884. So it's a 140-year-old university, and it has a lot to offer to the international students. Being a traditional university, but with all the modern facilities it has to offer. Bangor University, talking about the location, it's located at a very iconic location. That's what makes it more. There's several things which makes it more unique. About Bangor University per se, which helps it to attract a lot of international students. First thing which is the iconic location. It's located on the Welsh coast, nestled between Snowdonia Mountains and the North Welsh coast. So making it a very exceptionally attractive destination for all the international students. A very naturally beautiful location. Wales in itself is very, very beautiful. Second thing is the affordability factor, which is considerably very important factor for students to look at when they're looking and finalizing a university here in India. As India is a price sensitive market, and we do want to cater to all these students which are aspiring to get higher education at a affordable price, which offers tuition fees, living expenses, and of course the scholarships. And the third thing is the research excellence. Bangor actually is known for the research work and is being recognized for its research amongst the national surveys. Also received its high ranking in research excellence framework. We are top 25 university in the research excellence. It's a top 50 university when it comes to QS World University rankings. And especially when it comes to employability factor, we are top 15 as the most valued for money university. We have received the award for that. So the ranking speaks for itself about the university a lot. And these are certain factors which makes it more unique and attractive towards international students.
Perfect. I believe we cannot get a better sort of introduction of Karanveer, representing Bangor University, and with us today. So going forward, asking you the next question, Karan. Uh, when we talk about India as a market, as you mentioned correctly, it's a price sensitive market, right? And I believe that going abroad is a very unique experience that one has to, get in life. So let's say I go abroad today. So how is the community like, the campus community? Like,
So Bangor offers a very strong community vibe because it all started from a community itself,
okay.
as it's a very old university which has a lot of values when it comes to community. And student in terms of student community, we have a lot of diverse students coming from different communities, different backgrounds, but all coming and getting together with a sense of belongingness. And there's a lot of inclusion in terms of accepting the students, whether they're coming from any country or any community per se. So when it comes to community, we have a student union team which helps the student to make sure that having a safe and safe and a sound environment to live in, and a comfortable environment to live in terms of students getting more insight about what else they can explore. So there are a lot of cities like Manchester, Liverpool, which is very nearby for students, so it should not be a challenge for them to kind of explore these cities nearby. uh, Getting the insights about part-time jobs, we have a special career and services team on place in the campus itself. In terms of health related facilities, students through IHS, students can avail their IHS card and show their IHS card and get immediate attention when it's needed in terms of medical facilities. So I think all of these all of these put together brings a sense that student community is very strong at Bangor, and there's a proper support whenever it's needed for any particular student.
Perfect, Karan. So I believe that answered all the query, regarding the student community precisely. So when it comes to Indian market, Indian students, what programs do you think, ideally the Indian students opt for, and how good are they in terms of, job facilities, or maybe in terms of career growth? So what are the top programs that Bangor has to offer?
Well, Bangor is known for a lot of diverse programs, actually, since we do have the Welsh coast and a research ship often known as well. So we are famous generally for ocean sciences programs, environmental sciences programs like land management and agroforestry. So we have a lot of students who have done such programs and have been thriving in their careers. Moreover, the high demand in courses from India specifically are business management and marketing courses. Like, we do have a list of certain courses which are really popular, like the MBA programs in international business, or MBA in management, or someone who wants to do a particular MBA degree in international marketing. And so our requirement for MBA is like a minimum 3 years of work experience, particularly in the same field. And if a student is particularly not having a work experience, then we do have certain programs which are like offered as a freshers MBA. So we do offer programs for students which do not have work experience, but they do aspire to have a master's degree which is equivalent. So business management marketing is something which is very popular. Alongside, there's computer science and data science. So in computer science, the highly recommended and very popular courses which are there is MSc Advanced Computer Science, and alongside which also has to offer certain conversion programs like MSc Computing per se, and MSc Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. So these are certain courses which allows students to have an interdisciplinary degree. Someone who's coming from a different background, from an arts background or from a commerce background, but do want to go ahead and do build their career in computer science, so they can offer these conversion courses. So I hope this answer, like, this is psychology also in per se is also one of the strongest suits. So we do get a lot of students applying for psychology, law, LLM, specialized law courses like criminology, human rights law. So it's a mixed market which has these sort of programs which are being popular here in India.
Perfect, Karan. And in fact, I have read that the nursing program in the University of Bangor is really popular. Right. In fact, we get a lot of queries to be, very precise from the southern market, like the southern India. Right. Students are very keen to go for Bangor University, specifically for nursing programs. Can you please give a little insight to our students and how the program look like? What are the entry requirements and what are the career opportunities after completing a nursing program?
Yes, you're absolutely right, Saurabh. We do get a lot of students from nursing, especially for southern part of India, and in fact, this year's 2025 September intake is actually filled with students. By the end of January only, because we had the UCAS deadline on the 29th of January. So all of the most of the UG courses, undergrad courses, are actually being accepted by UCAS only, and the student has to choose Bangor as a firm choice. They get assured unconditional offer letter. Post that, there are specific entry requirements. It's particularly nursing is a program which is basically offered. When a student has a background in science, and also it has the student has to go through an interview before they get selected, their application gets selected by the department. So it's an interview with the department just to assess how the student's mindset, how the articulation is. And there are certain English language requirements also, IELTS score, which is somewhere around 7, being required. And students do apply for the program. I mean, it's a very popular program here in India. We do get like, just for example, September intake is already filled. So if you want to apply for a nursing program, I would suggest, apply well in advance. Apply somewhere in November, December, if you're applying for a September intake, for that matter, any course.
So, as you mentioned, the nursing program for the current intake are now closed.
uh, yes, fortunately for us, and unfortunately for students who have inquired us about, it's very disheartening, and it's very somewhere a tough job for us when it comes to attending all these educational fairs, and coming out to a student and who is eligible, who is very credible and very capable of that course, but actually they missed the deadline. So it's hard for us to say no to such students, but we do wish well for them, and we do ask them to prepare well for the next intake, and probably find some work experience in between and get some practical learning experience. That would be that's a way to go about it, actually.
And also, Karan, we do get some of the queries wherein the student do not have maths in their class 12. So let's say they have taken PCB, physics, chemistry, biology, and
Mhm.
specifically they have not opted for maths. So are those students eligible to apply in University of Bangor for the nursing programs precisely?
I mean, yeah, it's not a mandatory to have maths in 12th standard. For certain programs, not just nursing but computer
Mhm.
science also, there's a requirement for maths. But for students who do have maths in their 10th standard, and a minimum grade is like somewhere around 50%, if they're scored in maths, that should also be accepted, and to meet the maths criteria. So it's not a rigid thing that a student, if they do not have maths in their 12th, cannot apply for a certain program which has a maths requirement. Their assessment can be judged on the basis of their performance in their 10th standard. So just making it more feasible and easy for the students to apply.
Perfect. So I believe that's a great news for our students because I personally get a lot of queries from students that I do not have maths, but I want to go for a nursing program. So I believe that's a great news from Karanveer, and you too can apply for nursing program if you do not have maths in your class 12. Perfect, Karan. So moving forward, when we talk about the intakes that are available specifically, so how many intakes does Bangor has to provide to the Indian students precisely?
uh, so a very interesting question, Saurabh. Thank you. So total in 3 intakes we do have at Bangor University. September being the common intake for all the universities. It's one of the biggest intake wherein we all of the universities offer undergrad and postgrad taught courses. However, January and May are considerably only offering selected postgraduate taught programs. January does have some disciplines, namely accounting, banking and finance, business, marketing and management. history and archaeology, life sciences, health sciences, and law courses. So all of these courses are being offered under these departments in January intake. When it comes to May intake, it's even a smaller intake as compared to January. So only four disciplines under which we offer courses. But again, these are also postgraduate taught courses. So departments which we offer courses in May are postgraduate taught, namely business management and marketing, computer science and engineering. So we offer MSc computing in computer science and engineering, which is again a conversion course open to all for the application. Life sciences, health sciences, wherein we offer public health and health promotion, law, LLM, and under business and management and marketing, there are three different courses: two of MBA international business, MBA management, and MA marketing and business. So MA marketing business is for students who are looking for a freshers MBA, who particularly do not carry a 3 year work experience, so they can apply with the merit of their bachelor's degree.
Perfect. So to summarize to our students, I believe, Karan, there are three intakes altogether, which is January, May, and September intake. September being the biggest intake, you provide both masters and bachelor's program. In January, you have any bachelor's program? No, I believe.
In January, we do not offer
Bachelor's program.
It's only restricted to postgraduate taught courses, even the main intake.
Okay, and for me also, we don't have any bachelor's as such.
No.
Perfect. So to summarize, precisely we have three intakes altogether: January, May, and September. Wherein in September, both bachelor's and master's programs are available. And if you look at specifically for January and May, so we only have master's program, bachelor's program would be only for September intake.
That's correct.
Perfect. And when we talk about this program, Karan, so are there any industry tie-up or specific internships that the students are provided with while they are doing this program or after they have completed these programs?
Yes, we do offer internships. We do have industry tie-ups when it comes to business students. We have industry tie-ups with financial institutions. Where the students can go and do their internship, get to have an on-job experience, they even work on live cases. Similarly, learning from live cases, actually, we do give them complex problems which are always being arise during the industry talks or employability talks. So they do attend a lot of employability talks as well. Industry partners do deliver lectures, so that really helps the students to understand what's currently going on in the market nowadays. When it comes to computer science and engineering, we do have tie-ups with local and international tech firms, which do want fresh talent to be exposed, and this is the best time for the students to have their best practical learning experience while they are studying alongside. uh, when it comes to offering placements in ocean sciences, we do have industry placements. Even we have a ship of our own, which is the Prince Madog research ship. To have the best practical learning experience, the student can also work with the university as a student ambassador. If they're looking for a part-time job, uh, they can be a part of the student accommodation team. Also the Indian Society, anything which helps us promote the university. Also, if they have interest in becoming a student peer guide, they can help other students who are actually arriving, and making their journey a little convenient, and also a little more comfortable for getting them on board. And when it comes to medical and health department, we do offer NHS clinical placements alongside programs, which gives the students to have the best practical learning experience. Even on campus, we have an MRI machine. So we do believe in giving a different learning experience to students, wherein we find a kind of balance between theoretical and practical. It helps the student to understand things from a broader perspective, and by the time they reach at a stage where they're looking for employability, they already have so much they've already exposed. So it's less new for them to kind of adapt to things, since they've already got a lot of exposure while at their camp, while their time at the campus. I hope it answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. So I believe, student, there are a lot of facilities, lot of internships, lot of other things that are being provided by Bangor University specifically to the students to enhance their, the entire path of career and grow as an individual. That's quite interesting. And moving forward, Karan, so when we talk about PhD programs, I know that's this is a painful topic, I believe, because I have seen a lot of universities avoiding these questions. But while we were talking in the background, I believe you answered it really well, and I would really want you to answer this for our students, that what sort of help and what sort of programs do you provide for PhD students, who are specifically willing to go in the September intake, or maybe in future for the PhD programs?
Well, it's there's a actually if I talk about the list of courses, there's a huge list of courses, so it'll not be easy for me to kind of list every one of them.
Absolutely.
But we do have research based courses available for almost all the departments. So looking at PhD, yeah, it is tricky thing to for any international student. But yes, we do encourage students who are applying for PhD. We do often meet students actually. Personally, talking about me, I do meet students who are interested in PhD or sort of MPhil or any research based course, right? Well, the good part about research based courses, uh, it's the approach towards it's different. The entry requirement is a little different. Having a good bachelor's honors degree with a good degree, good sort of grades in masters as well. So both of the degrees are required. On top of that, what I believe in giving information to students is helping them with a research officer contact details, uh, with the which aligns the interest of their research. So a research proposal is required, a well drafted research proposal in a particular area. And since we do have a research based, we do offer research based courses, and as it's a research led university, we encourage students to get their proposals being analyzed and also assessed uh, by a research officer at the campus. So it's feasible for them to kind of get it checked and assessed, and if there are any amendments required, they do it accordingly. Once their research proposal is accepted, there's a interview, post which their application is accepted if all goes well. And moreover, talking about research based programs, since it's a research led university, we do encourage students to join us with our research based courses. And certain departments are given certain budgets, along which there's a possibility of getting partially funded for certain PhD courses as well. Depends on totally the budget of that department.
Perfect. So basically, you assign a research professor. So a student needs to send the research proposal to that professor.
Mhm.
He checks that first. Probably, if any amendment is required, he informs the student.
Perfect.
The student again rectifies that, submits the proposal, and once that is accepted, the student gets an admission.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And in most of the programs, it can be funded, be it partially or fully.
Fully, I'm not sure, but yes, partially.
Hmm.
There are certain areas where there's a fully funded, also there's a partially funded, but depends on the budget
Depends on
of
the
the
budget.
department.
Okay.
But yes, if the proposal is very well drafted and
Mhm.
there's a strong profile, there are highly likely chances of getting a funded PhD.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So moving forward, Karan, when we talk about the admission processes, specifically, let's say there are two students. One is planning for UG program and one is planning for a PG program. So what are the entry requirements that we have for UG and PG?
Uh, so entry requirements for an undergrad program at Bangor is very simple, somewhere around a 65% from a CBSE or ICSE board, or in fact, any state board, except for some high risk regions like Punjab, Haryana, Himachal, and Uttar Pradesh board. The requirement is 65. And it's not that we do not encourage applications from these high risk regions, but the requirement for the high risk regions like Punjab, Haryana, Himachal, and Uttar Pradesh is a little high, which is somewhere around 85%. Since there's a lot of cases that we get, just to avoid any sort of malicious applications or any system generated applications, uh, just keeping the entry requirements a little stringent. Although For postgraduate courses, we do accept minimum of 2 by 2, which is like a second division, somewhere between 50 to 55%, or a 6 CGPA out of 10. So every institute has in India has their own assessing requirement and assessing structure. So just to align with that, we have a percentage requirement which is 50 to 55, CGPA requirement which is 6 out of 10, or some universities to give mentioning that it's just a second division or a first division. So we do accept minimum of a second division. That's pretty much the requirement. Although if the student has a gap somewhere around 3 years and applying for a PG course, so ideally we assume that that is a working professional, and we would encourage the students to submit both letter of recommendation, one academic and one from their recent employer.
Perfect. We'll come to this part. Before that, just to give a clear guidance to our students. So anyone who is applying for a UG program, ideally it's 65 percentage, except for high risk regions, wherein it's more than 80-85 percentage. And for PG program, it's ideally 2:2, which is 50 to 55 percentage, or in some cases close to 60 percentage would do.
Absolutely.
Perfect. That works. And since you are mentioning the gap that is required, so let's say for bachelor's program, what is the ideal gap that is accepted by the university when it comes to bachelor's program precisely?
I think there should be somewhere about a 2 year gap.
Yeah.
Although if they have a gap, they should have some work experience or some justification of that gap. So that needs to be included, and there should be a well drafted SOP, like a statement of purpose, as they submit. So there are certain documents which needs to be submitted for both the cases, whether it's a undergrad or a postgraduate course. Could be their transcript, their 10-12 mark sheet transcripts, their letter of recommendation through academic, and also a well drafted SOP, curriculum vitae, their CV, passport. So these are certain documents, and also alongside their English language proficiency test, meeting the entry requirement of the course.
So let's say a student has completed their class 12 in the year 2023. So technically they are eligible to apply in the 25 intake, September 25 intake.
Yes.
Perfect. And when it comes to master's program, so what is the maximum tenure that you accept? So for example, MBA program, as you mentioned, 3 years of experience is required, right? For any other program, let's say a student has 6 years of experience, 7 years of experience, maybe beyond that, 8 years, 9 years. So is that application acceptable?
Yeah, I mean, depends. As such, there's no gap for PG students because a master's degree can be taken and applied for at any stage, because people are like working professionals and simply available to all. But again, some mature cases are being assessed and discussed on case to case basis. These are cases which will be again referred to the department, and post that you will get a confirmation whether the student is accepted or not. Although if there's a working professional and it's a well drafted SOP and there's usually no gap, or even if there's gap is justified by a work experience, it should be accepted.
Perfect, Karan. So I believe that that answers the query. And when it comes to the requirement, precisely MOI, which is again a topic to discuss.
Yeah.
Then we'll be discussing on the language tests that are required. What are the tests that you guys accept ideally, and maybe we can discuss a little bit on the portfolios. So which all courses requires a portfolio, right? Ideally, if you can just give a brief summary that what all things are required, maybe that would be really great.
Of course. So, as you mentioned, English language requirements. Yes, we do have an English language requirement, and the requirement for usually students to get there's a possibility of getting an IELTS waiver also. It's not mandatory for everyone to give IELTS or any other English language test that we accept. We do accept IELTS, TOEFL, PTE, Duolingo as well, and Cambridge English test. So there are a lot of students we are relieved that we do accept Duolingo. I'm not sure for what exact reason though, but I think it's easy, it's quick for students to get a turnaround on Duolingo test. But we do accept these tests, and to get an IELTS waiver or any English language test waiver, we have a certain English language requirement, which is basically having a score of 65% in their English in their 12th from their 12th standard. So if they have English scores above 65 from from any board, any state board or a central board, could be CBSE, ICSE, or any other state board also. But apart from these four boards, Punjab, Haryana, Himachal, and Uttar Pradesh, we're happy to give them an IELTS waiver.
IELTS.
Yeah.
And what are the scores that are required specifically in IELTS and Duolingo maybe?
So generally, like IELTS is something which is universally accepted, and talking about IELTS, minimum score is 6 overall and 5.5 in each component. For Duolingo, total score of 105, which is equivalent to 6 overall and 5.5. So 105 overall, 95 in listening, speaking, and writing. Reading requires a minimum of 100. So we do have a page which basically bifurcates and gives a respective score as which is equivalent to IELTS. So it's very easy. Just go to Google and type English language requirements, Bangor University. The first link that you get will give you a brief of every department, like what sort of IELTS score is required, whether it's undergrad or a postgrad course. And moreover, if you further go scroll down, it'll give you a clear picture of what exact score is equivalent to the IELTS requirement of that particular course. So it makes it easy for a student who is giving a Duolingo or PT or TOEFL to sort of bifurcate and get an understanding what the equivalent score would be.
Perfect. And talking about the portfolios, Karan. So, in which courses do we need a portfolio? And if you can just give a brief, maybe a two-liner on what all things a student needs to arrange in a portfolio.
I mean, as such, there's no portfolio required for certain courses, but yeah, there's a job requirement which is somewhere around three years. If you're applying for any MBA course, could be an MBA in international marketing, could be an MBA in international business, could be an MBA in finance. So depends on their experience. If they're going for an MBA in finance, so they ideally they it would be expected from the student that they have a certain job background in finance, right? And similarly for marketing, and similarly for management courses.
And Karan, if we talk about the students, who have just appeared their class 12th or maybe just completed their bachelor's program in India. So is it mandatory for the student to submit full complete set of documents while they're applying, or they can get a conditional offer letter as well?
It is not at all mandatory for a student to hold a degree, from a bachelor's degree, or have their results in hand if they're applying for a undergrad course. So the student can apply before that as well, right? This is particularly, and there's no fee to apply for a particular course, so we are not charging any sort of fee. So if anyone is, be aware, guys. So just assuring that the student go through a seamless process. I'll let you go through a complete application procedure. So once the student applies for a UG program, they can apply through UCAS. UCAS charges somewhere around a fee of 28.5 pounds, which basically gets the student to explore their options. And if you're applying for a course at Bangor University, you just have to make Bangor as your firm choice. Move ahead with your application. You'll get an unconditional offer letter within somewhere around 7 to 10 working days. And similarly, if you're applying for a postgraduate course, you can apply either directly through the webpage or through Global Study Link, as they have a team of trained counselors, certified trained counselors, and those will be helping you from the point of application till the point you get your visa, and above and beyond. So I'm sure they'll go above and beyond their way to help each and every student. Moreover, when the application is submitted, there's an automated generated offer letter which is being sent out to a student just to get a acknowledgement of that student. So the student needs to accept that provisional offer letter, just to make sure that it's actually a live person who has applied for the program. And once the student accepts that offer, then all the documents which are uploaded by the student will be assessed by the admissions team in the UK. Post that, they'll get either a conditional offer or an unconditional offer if they meet all the requirements. So conditional offer, which will basically have certain conditions of documents uh, which are being pending from the student side. So as to answer your question, if a student is waiting on the decision and an offer is made with a degree certificate to be submitted on the portal. So once they get their degree certificate, they can upload it as and when they get it, and post completing uploading all the required documents mentioned in the conditional offer letter, uh, they will be getting an unconditional offer letter as it goes along with the application process. So once they get an unconditional offer, they need to pay a minimum of £4,000 as a deposit towards their tuition fees, which assures a seat at the university. Post that, they'll be getting access to the cash shield. So cash shield enrollee is a process where they need to upload some financial documents which combines their living and tuition fees. Uh, Certain health related documents like your tuberculosis certificate. Once all these documents are uploaded, they will be getting an access to give an interview. So this interview is called a credibility interview, just to check how credible the student is and if they are aware about certain basic things like they researched about the course, why they could kind of going to UK as a destination, why are they looking for Bangor University as a choice, and why they've chosen this particular course, and how this course could be related to the future prospects. So just to answer these general questions and to check and assess their comprehension and articulation skills in English, this interview is being placed. A student gets 3 attempts to clear the interview and get a CAS letter. A CAS letter is nothing but a completion of acceptance to study, which is required for every student from any university to apply for the university and apply for the visa. So once they apply, get the CAS letter from the university, they can apply for their student visa. Once they do get their student visa, they need to upload these visa documents and pay the remaining of 50% of their tuition fees as an enrollment. So once they're done with the procedure and they're happy to fly to Manchester, as is the closest airport to Bangor University. And we also do provide shuttle services like coach services at a minimal range, like cost, somewhere around £44 for the students, to make it easy for them to carry with bags and have a comfortable journey.
Perfect. So I believe, Karan covered the entire process of how you can, reach to the University of Bangor. So starting with, if you do not have the final degree or you're still waiting for the final degree, you can still submit the application. There's no problem. For bachelor's program, you can submit the application through UCAS, which is University College Admission Service. And for postgraduate program, you can directly submit the application through us or maybe through the university portal, which is completely fine. You get the conditional offer letter, you meet your all conditions, pay a minimum deposit of 4,000 GBP, depending on the programs, depending on the course sometimes. And after that, you get an unconditional offer letter. Once you get an unconditional offer letter, maybe you can apply for your CAS, which is confirmation of acceptance for studies, and which you can get it through enrollee, like CAS enrollee. You have to give an interview, that is credibility interview. And once that is done, you get your CAS letter. Then you need to file a visa. Once you get your visa, and then fly to the university. Correct?
Absolutely.
Perfect, Karan. Thank you so much. That was a detailed answer, probably answering all the future questions. Okay. Moving forward, Karan, when it comes to the competitive programs, right? There are a lot of programs, as you mentioned, nursing is one of the most competitive program that you guys have, right? So how quick a student should be in applying to these programs, and how you see that, let's say a good student, as you mentioned that there are some of the good students you met, but they couldn't be given admission because of the delay. So let's say how a student should plan their journey in order to reach the university in a right time, ensuring a decent amount of scholarship as well. We'll come to the scholarship in the next segment, but before that, like how quick a student should be in applying to the university.
Yeah, I mean, India is a little laid back market, so that's what actually needs to be changed. But nowadays, like there are a lot of things, there are a lot of queries from students who are in their schools in their first year, second year applying, and also wanted to know more about uh, how to apply, right? So it's very important to kind of give a decent amount of time, right, for application. So just to give you an example, like a student applying for September intake, I would recommend them to apply somewhere around, if they're applying for a 2026 September, just to give an example. So ideally they should be applying somewhere around November, December time this year.
Mhm.
I'll tell you why. Even if they're waiting for the results, that's completely fine, right? But at least that'll give an edge over them for being prepared of the conditional documents that they need to be, submitting post they complete their bachelor's or their 12th standard. So having a edge on things and planning things ahead is always better, right? Rather than getting a CAS letter delayed, or maybe applying for the visa uh, at the end of it and paying a super priority visa fees, which is again a huge chunk of money. So I would recommend students to apply in time so that they can save their money and they can know more about, be more informative about the documents which are required, and fulfill those conditions well in time.
Okay, so maybe the student who are applying for highly competitive programs, they should apply at least 9 months prior to the commencement of the program. So let's say a program is starting for September 25. They should ideally start their application from December 24 itself.
Absolutely.
Perfect. That makes sense. Now coming to the most inquired, most searched, most asked question by the students. One of those is, does the university offer any scholarship for international students? If yes, then what are the criterias for the student to get the scholarship?
Very valid and very interesting question, actually. Uh, Deciding factor, to be very honest. So any student who's looking for any university in the UK, they look for scholarships. As I did mention earlier, price sensitive market. So we do get inquiries about scholarship a lot. So to answer this question, yes, we do have international scholarships. Uh, Two of them are automatic scholarships. So just to give you a brief background about what is automatic, what is an application based scholarship. So automatic scholarships are the ones which does not require any particular application. So as the student applies for a program, they will be getting, on the basis of their merit, they will be getting a scholarship already mentioned in their offer letter as per their eligibility. So as I did mention that, so we have two scholarships which are automatic. One of them is the international scholarship. The range of international scholarship that we offer is somewhere 3,000 for a postgrad applicant, and £4,000 for the first year of UG. So all the students are eligible who are applying for the course, and eligible for the course are eligible for this base scholarship. Moving ahead to the international scholarship. So now, what is an international scholarship? Now, it's again an automatic scholarship. Uh, Sorry, it's a dean scholarship. The one which I was talking about is an international scholarship. 3,000 for PG and 4,000 first year for UG. Moving ahead to a dean scholarship. Now, a dean scholarship is a higher scholarship, but again, it's an automatic scholarship. Dean scholarship ranges from £5,000 for a postgrad applicant to a £6,000 first year for a UG applicant, undergrad applicant. The eligibility criteria for this scholarship is somewhere around a first class grade. A student applying from a 12th standard to a UG program is having minimum of 70 to 75% in their 12th standard, makes them eligible for a £6,000 scholarship for their UG program for the first year. And if there's a student applying from bachelor's and applying for a master's course, he's eligible for a £5,000 scholarship. So UG is generally a 3-year course, and PG is most likely 1-year course. We do have certain options for students to make their undergrad course a 4-year course by adding a placement year or a study abroad year. But that's somewhere something different. But these are the scholarships, two scholarships we do offer for automatic scholarships. There are two other scholarships which are application based, which comes with again a certain set of criteria and deadline. So the application scholarships, one of them is Global Wales. So it's somewhere equivalent to the Great Scholarship, which is being offered by British Council. for other UK based universities. For Wales, we have this scholarship called the Global Wales, which is again up to £10,000. But it is again numbered, these are numbered scholarships and only restricted to certain number of students per department, per level. uh, Eligibility criteria for this is pretty much basic, like whoever is eligible and have a residency of their own country, has the certain document, and are self-funded students can apply for these scholarships. And moving ahead to a vice chancellor scholarship. So as I mentioned that we are a community based university, right? So this scholarship also has some criteria which requires excellence in academic as well as extracurricular. So someone who has a first class grade, whether they're applying for UG or a postgrad course, uh, they should have a first class grade alongside, if they have some experience of working with an NGO, or they have done some community based work which they have a certificate of minimum 6 months to 1 year. So yeah, they become eligible to apply for this particular scholarship. But again, getting the scholarship, only one student gets it per department, per level. So if once, just to give you an example, a UG student applying for a marketing course, so only one of those marketing students will get for the UG level, and similarly for PG. So one student per department, per country, and per level.
And apart from this, university scholarships, are there any options for the student to apply for a financial aid or any other programs that you are aware of, wherein the student can get significant amount to study their maybe bachelor's or maybe master's?
Yes, apart from Bangor's own scholarships, students are eligible, and can actually apply for certain other scholarships, which, say, for example, government scholarships, right? So the students can apply for either a Shevening scholarship or a Commonwealth scholarship. So these are government funded scholarships. Shevening scholarship is particularly only for students who are applying for a postgraduate course to be studied in the UK. And apart from this, students can also avail assistance or take loan schemes. There are loan schemes and financial aid being provided by different uh, government banks and financial private financial institutions. uh, Alongside, there are some students which actually also get options to get their education fully covered through private. If they're working, they can get it covered through private or corporate sector. The company can sponsor them, right, to get another higher level of education, come back and join the same. So they're entitled to all of these scholarships, but it's very imperative for all these students to be mindful of the entry criteria, and to apply at a certain time, because there are certain entry criteria and application deadlines along which comes along with these scholarships.
Perfect. So I believe that explains the entire scenario of scholarships, financial aids, the amount that the students are ideally expecting from the University of Bangor. Perfect. Moving forward, Karan, let's talk about a little bit about the campus life, accommodation being one of the most integral part of any student's well-being, leaving India, going to a different country, settling down. So I have seen a lot of students, getting quite inquisitive about accommodation. So does University of Bangor, provides accommodation? If yes, how affordable is that?
Actually, very interesting question. Thank you for asking that. Actually, accommodation is one of our strongest suits. So we are top third in the UK for providing affordable accommodation options to students, and we do guarantee on-campus accommodation options available for students. Uh, so there are two different villages: Saint Freedode Village and Saint Mary's Village, along which students have the flexibility to choose their own room as per their budget. So we did a survey on this, and just to give you a brief about the options which are available at the university for the university accommodation, is between somewhere around £3,800 to £7,000. So it's pretty much very feasible for students to live on campus. And alongside this, budget does not just consist of their living space. In fact, it covers a lot more than that. So when it comes to the utility bills, all covered through, their, be it it's their electricity, water bill, gas bill, or any heating charge, heating bills. uh, they have full access to the Wi-Fi. They have full access. They get a gym membership alongside. They do not need to pay anything extra. They do have a campus life membership as well. Now, just to give you an understanding about what is campus life. So, campus life is kind of a group which, does organize exciting these sports events, movie nights, quiz nights, cooking classes, and barbecue nights, right? Alongside, since it's located near the Snowdonia Mountains, so there's a lot of hiking trips that are being organized through this group. So, alongside in this budget, there's a different range of rooms the student can go for, right? So, someone who's looking for a budgeted accommodation can go for comfort rooms. Someone who's looking for, you know, ensuite rooms, they can go for townhouses. So every student has their own right to, choose, has different options to choose a budgeted accommodation to a fully equipped premium accommodation. But the good part is, even if they go for a premium accommodation, they won't be going beyond £7,000 for the whole year, which is again very affordable. So, making it feasible for students to have a comfortable and affordable living, and that too, which has so much adventure to offer, as it's close to the mountains and the seaside. So, to sum it up, yes, we do provide accommodation options, which are very much in the budget, and alongside it covers a lot of other things like laundry, and there are cafes, bars, which are in the walking distance. Even academic lectures are academic learning spaces are also study spaces are between 10 to 12 minutes walk. Either the student can also get a bike, rent a bike, and doing their daily grocery runs should not be a challenge to move around the city, right? Alongside, since we have an Indian palate, so we do want to get Indian masalas and, buy those vegetables and cook our own food. We do have Indian society on campus, which is very welcoming. So the student, from the point of their arrival, they do get proper support when it comes to their pre-arrival orientation, and till the point they are, through with their education, plus the academic support, which is phenomenal at the university
So accommodations are available in, and it's guaranteed for almost all the students, like
for all the
UG,
international
PG, both.
students. Yes.
Perfect. And the starting range is close to 3,500 per year, and it can go up to 7,000. Is that correct?
So, starting range is £3,800, goes up to 7,000. So, all in all, if you include food and miscellaneous living expenses, just giving you a range between 6,500 to 12,500 is the maximum they can spend. So similarly, like if you look at counties nearby London, or maybe some finding a decent accommodation in London will cost you somewhere around 12,000 to 6,000 £16,000 for the year, but that will just cover accommodation, not other expenses. So it's very feasible, and naturally Wales is very, very beautiful, very comfortable space, and a very safe environment. And when it comes to safety, as your next question was safety, right? So, just to assure all the students and also the parents, because it's a very sensitive topic, which is being, which is very important for the parents especially, because they're sending their child, right? uh, so in terms of safety and security, we have three layers of safety and security. One is a friendly team of student mentors. One is uh, a warden on duty always. They work in shifts, and 24 hours there's a security staff every place. There are CCTV cameras on campus, so there are marshals on campus, so student can have, if they're because it's a big campus, 250 hectares, right? And we do have a great field, like sports field, that we're famous for. We have a athletics sports track also. So, since everything, is so vast, and it's an international student, sometimes they lost their way out, so it's very easy for them to reach out to a marshal, and they'll safely escort the room, the student to their rooms, and make sure they're completely safe and sound.
Perfect. I believe, that answers accommodation, cost, and including the safety of the international students perfectly fine. And, can the student, join any clubs, society, or are there any sports team that the student can be a part of while they're staying in that accommodation?
We've got 150 plus sports clubs and social clubs, plus cultural community clubs, which we have on campus. So there's a wide range of community clubs that we have. A student can benefit from, whether it be it's music, whether it's a sports club, or any cultural club they want to join in. So there's no restriction for anyone to join any club of their choice. It actually is a very interesting thing because we do have an alumni who actually went to do an MSc psychology course, but ended up getting his career made in the film industry. So his name is Minu, but yes, just referring him for example. So it's never too late to explore your options. He went for a psychology program, ended up joining a film society and club, and now he's working on a Telugu film and in the script writing team. So a lot can change. Possibilities are endless here at Bangor University.
I completely agree. Like a lot of my students, precisely, and I've been dealing with students for the last 7.5 years, and I have seen, the perspective of students changes a lot
Yeah.
when they explore abroad markets. They study in a different country. So I've literally seen students going for a different program, then engulfing in different societies, meeting with different people, networking with different people, and they eventually get into a different track altogether, which they never have dreamt of.
Dreamt of. Exactly.
And I completely relate to that, in fact, because I studied aerospace, then did a different program, and completely now in a different genre altogether. So I do understand that often students go in a different program, eventually land in a different career goals. So thank you, Karan. I believe that answered the query.
You're welcome.
Karan, we have covered, almost most of the questions that ideally international students are looking forward to. One important thing that probably, we can cover in this segment: what are the part-time options, part-time job opportunities that the student can ideally opt for while they're completing their program?
Uh, Talking about part-time jobs, yes, it's available on campus, off campus, both. The students are ideally, legally, they're entitled, and they can work somewhere around 20 hours a week as a part-time job. And when it comes to on campus, we do have a career and employability services team, which helps the student to guide them through what sort of part-time jobs are available if they were looking for something which is course related, or something in general, or maybe it could be a side hustle, so that they can manage their living expenses in the UK while they're staying and studying. So something which we call learn and earn at the same time. They're eligible to apply for certain jobs, which is could be internships related to subject fields, which they're actually doing a course in. Totally depends upon, because since it's a research based course, so there are a lot of academic professors who do need support regarding their research. So they could be internships or volunteerships they could be a part of, and they could also apply for a position, like we do need student ambassadors, who can promote the university, help us make things better at Bangor University, and support the students while they're at the campus. So they could be applying for a job which is a student ambassador or a student peer guide, or they could also look for an accommodation team. Maybe they can join the accommodation team and help other students to know more about accommodation, something wherein they will help other students to get more information about the same. They can also look for a job in the library, applying for as a bookkeeper, and some other side hustle jobs they can apply for, which could be working at a restaurant, or maybe in sales, or outside the campus. So it's a completely guided service, which the employability services team apply helps the students to know more about when they're at the campus.
So these are the part-time jobs which ideally students can opt for.
Absolutely.
Right. And when it comes to the full time, so let's say once a student complete their graduation program or a master's program, right? So what are the opportunities that University of Bangor has to offer specifically to students who have just completed their program?
So Bangor University does help the students, provide a strong level of support, uh, through their career and employability services, by providing a personalized service to the students. The students can be entitled to attend a lot of sessions. They help the students, in doing a lot of workshops. It's just that the students also, need to be engaging. So they do help the students to attend certain workshops related to resume writing, per se, or they could be sessions or workshops related to mock interviews, which I think does help the student to understand what are the challenges they're facing while they're actually giving an actual interview, so that they could analyze the challenges they're facing and work on those challenges, helping them to structure their answers pretty well before they go and sit for an actual interview. So I think these all services really help the students to kind of know more about what's it there, what are the opportunities available, and what sort of support is available on campus.
And I believe, Karan, we were just talking about something related to Shark Tank. That
Yes.
people who are completing their MBA program or management related programs or some other programs and have some idea to create a better startup, right? So, what sort of support do Bangor has to offer to those students precisely?
So students who apply for some entrepreneurial programs like international business, or we do have an incubation center on
Mhm.
campus for students who have an entrepreneurial mindset, and they can brainstorm their business ideas with like-minded students or fellow students, or even academic professors, come up with the business ideas. So we do have a like a competition which is called Bangor University Innovation and Leadership Team. It's called Built. So it's throughout the year they analyze different projects and different students applying for this particular competition. So it's kind of like a Shark Tank competition. So whoever gets their business idea, selected, they get some seed funding for their startup. And even alongside the support, even for students who are applying for jobs, there are personalized services for them, and they can actually attend career fairs, job fairs, or even employability talks coming out from potential employers. So we do give ample amount of confidence, and help the students to reach out to these potential employers by networking around those employers, and making connections with them. So it's very useful for the students to make these connections if they are looking to apply for jobs post completion of their graduation.
Perfect. So ideally, Karan, what are the options available for students, during their post-study work visa, which is ideally for 2 years, I believe, in the UK?
Absolutely. So, as per the post study graduation, an international student, they can apply for a uh, graduate route visa, which is basically the graduate immigration route, which helps the students to kind of stay in the UK for another 2 years when it comes to postgraduate taught students, and also up to 3 years for PhD level students to stay in the UK and work full time or part time, or even self practice. Uh, Even if they do not secure a job, they can still work, under a uh, practice their own on their own, be self-employed. But someone who's working with a licensed UK employer, if they are able to sustain for another 2 years, which further helps them down to apply for an extended visa if they get eligible for a sponsorship visa. So these are the avenues which really helps the students to kind of stay in the UK, know more about the job environment, give an edge over others, because there's certain accredited courses, they get different job opportunities and exemptions from highly competitive exams, and which opens the avenues for them for actually uh, more sort of job environments, both in public and private sector.
Okay, so once the student completes their program, ideally, if they are getting a job who has a sponsored license, right, maybe they can go into work permit, right, for a longer term and stay in UK.
Yes, if their UK licensed employer is happy to retain them, they can actually apply for through the sponsorship. They can apply for the skilled worker visa, and they can stay in the UK for longer, if that is applicable, but through the employer itself.
So, Karan, what do you suggest? What is your take on students who are planning to study in abroad? What would be your final advice to the students, our students who are planning in the next upcoming year or maybe this year September?
So, uh, So in terms of employability aspect, if you're asking, yes, there's a piece of advice which I will give through, like which I give to every student which I meet during the educational fairs or any sort of fairs which we do attend. So student do, are keen actually in applying for the university, but it's very important for them to also understand that job is something which is not guaranteed, right? So they have to be equally engaging with the support that we offer through careers and employability services. So that team is definitely there to provide you 100% guidance on that. Talking about the engagement in terms of workshops, we do it, organize or conduct for students, like resume writing or maybe mock interviews, right? It's very important to understand and network around the career fairs that we organize, the employability talks we organize. So for the students to kind of, as a smart student, I would encourage them to list down the companies which are coming, and if it matches with the companies that they're looking forward to apply jobs in, it becomes very easy for them to kind of network around and present. If they're doing any research, I would suggest kind of talk about more about that, and ask questions, right set of questions, which could be relating to the skills which are required for that particular job they're looking for. So it becomes easy for them to work on those skills while they're at their time at the campus, and take the right set of academic support from our professors and even the employability team for that matter.
So I believe, Karan, that is one of the most important thing that you have advised to most of the students, that while you are planning to study in abroad, you have to focus on a lot of things. The companies that are coming in that particular year or maybe in the previous year, plan your applications early so that you get the right set of scholarships, you get the right set of mentorship, you get visa on time, you get cash on time. And to cover this all, Karan, I am really thankful that you have given the right set of advice to all our students who are planning for maybe this September or intakes coming in future. And Karan, asking you one last question, probably my favorite question. So what do you think about Global Study Link and the services that we have to offer to our students?
Well, Global Study Link has been always a trusted partner, and I'm sure the students' future are in the right hands. They have a great number of trained counselors and certified counselors, which are willing to go above and beyond in the student support journey. They just to give you an idea about the students, we do appreciate the hard work that is being put around from the Global Study Link team, and just to assure all the students that their future and their career and their support or everything in terms of that are in the right hands. So feel free to reach out to Global Study Link and get your support. They're willing to help the students from the point of application till the point of their visa, and I'm sure they would be having trusted partners through which students can easily go for financial aid and apply for student loans. So I would recommend you guys to reach out to Global Study Link and apply for Bangor University. Thank you.
Thank you, Karan, for all the valuable insight. I am pretty much sure all our students would be really happy to hear from you. With this, we come to an end of our first episode, which is a part of our series Out of the Syllabus. Thank you so much for watching us till here. And if you really enjoyed the entire thing, please do drop your valuable comments. Do like this video. And of course, if you're inspired by our journey, by the journey of so many students that Karan told us today, do reach out to the team of Global Study Link. We have dedicated counselors who are certified enough to help you in the entire run, right from your application to your SOP, building your resume, submitting the applications, getting your loan done, accommodation, visa, everything, right from A to Z. We have a dedicated team who is going to help you out. So do reach out to us. And for more such content, do follow our page and don't forget to drop your valuable comments.
Global Study Link, your link to global institutions. Contact us now or visit www.globalstudylink.co.uk.